It's a way of dealing with oil spills and toxic algae blooms.
This small boat could represent a revolutionary answer to oil spills.
The catastrophic big ones, unfortunately, are addressed by traditional oil spill response measures, which take a lot of time to put into action, and they don't recover much oil. It's not me saying this, it's the International Tanker Owners Pollution Federation, called ITOPF. 3 to 5% of the oil is recovered most of the time. What happens to the other 90%? Oh, I'm sorry, we couldn't get that. Or I'm sorry, we couldn't get there quickly enough. Well, getting there in 72 hours isn't really very good because the oil has gone thin. If you can get there within minutes or hours, you can do an awful lot more. And the interesting thing is that when you use modern methods of skimming the oil, you can recover an astonishingly high proportion of the oil, like 80 or 90%, as proven in tests in 2012 in the United States in a big test tank, and they recovered 94% of the oil in waves. The boat was going like this. Well, can you do that with an ordinary boat in waves? No.
Catastrophic oil spills are a big concern, but there is another.
The small spills that happen every day, and the sum of the small spills is far greater than the catastrophic big ones.
How can help get there so fast? By having a fleet of small, versatile boats all along the shoreline.
We have this idea, but it's only an idea, and what we have to do is validate our assumptions.
So we know, we've actually proven it with a 12-meter vessel that was tested in 2012, that we can collect this very high proportion of oil. If we can deploy these ships rapidly, then we can get to work and do what we're promising.
If there's an emergency where there's an oil spill that's going to come into a community, you can bring a lot of boats by road on trailers to the site, and you can do 2,000 kilometers in 24 hours. And right now, the alternative is, if there's an oil spill, the regulations are that they have to respond within 72 hours, which means that because they're fairly large ships, they have to move by water. So what we're saying is we can create a large fleet where people are using them, and they can be used multifunctionally, and it's a lot cheaper, and we can get to the scene of either an toxic algae bloom or an oil spill much quicker than what's happening now.
You want something which is designed for multi-purpose. If you have a local boat which is used for ferrying people, for carrying goods, doing tasks around the harbour, around the community, these are on the spot, or they're down the road with a neighbouring community a few kilometres down. And so this stuff is accessible within minutes or hours, and it can even be in the water and doing a different task and can be diverted, as opposed to waiting for this large vessel to come from miles away, which is really designed for big water work, not for coastal work.
So a fleet of small boats working in local communities that at a moment's notice can be deployed to an oil spill, much like volunteer fire departments. Many can arrive within minutes or hours instead of days. They call this concept a swarm.
I like the idea of a swarm because it's able to bring to bear resources which can be deployed over a large area, not just merely one big boat trying to tackle that area.
It's a big need, and it could be a big change, and it allows people to have some control over what's happening to their community and to get help from everyone else.
You've got little boats that can go into places where, oh, I'm sorry, we can't reach it. Well, yes, we can. We have a small boat designed to do just that particular job, and we can get to it quickly. Tell me you can move your big boat there. Well, I wouldn't want to go there in the first place. I'm going to run aground. Well, the little boat is designed to operate in shallow waters, and it's designed to work with local people who know the waters.
So we're talking to people on the North Shore, and what we're hoping is maybe having 3 prototype workboats and being able to move them around and seeing how we can do that. We could also be doing toxic algae blooms around Montreal and seeing if you could actually move those boats to the North Shore if there was an oil spill. So the idea is you really want both kinds of cleanups happening, and you want one boat to be able to respond to that You can get 2,000 kilometers in 24 hours. So you could have people in Winnipeg responding to an oil spill and stopping their algae bloom toxic cleanup and spending two weeks fighting an oil spill.
So how does it work? Well, they suck the oil slick up into a tower. The oil floats to the top and is siphoned off, is reclaimed, and can be reused. In this demonstration, they used apples instead of oil. Please check out our Facebook page for more information.